Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Nicoletta Borisovska, and today in this presentation, I am going to elaborate on the forms of international shipping contracts and more precisely on the Bill of Lading document, what transaction covers, its various forms and innovations.
Firstly, let's talk about the various documents included in an international shipping contract. Such contract consists of various documents. Therefore, I am going to elaborate on the most commonly used ones. The charter party is a contract between the owner of a vessel and the charterer, which is the person desiring to employ the vessel. It sets forth the terms of the agreement, such as the duration, the freight rate, and the ports involved in the trip.
A freight bill is an invoice issued by the carrier to a consignee, which gives information about the freight concerning its operationality, statistics, and finance.
Furthermore, an affreightment is an agreement by the ocean carrier to provide cargo space on a vessel. This document gives information about the price of the cargo space and about the specific time of the agreement.
Moreover, a letter of credit is a written commitment issued by the buyer's or the importer's bank to pay the seller's or the exporter's bank. It guarantees the payment of a specific sum in a specific currency by the bank, provided that the seller meets precisely defined conditions, such as the delivery of specific documents like the bill of lading, waybill, a commercial invoice, or a certificate of origins. And finally, the Bill of Lading is a document establishing the agreement between the shipper and a transportation company for the transportation of freight. Under the Hague-Visby rules, the Bill of Lading is essential to identify a contract concerning the carriage of goods by sea as a contract of carriage. The bill of lading serves also as an evidence of receipt of the goods, as therein described, by the carrier or by a third party acting in good faith. In order for a bill of lading to be in accordance with the Hague-Visby rules, it must fulfill three specific criteria defined in Article 3, Paragraph 3 of the Hague Rules. Firstly, it must include the leading marks necessary for identification of goods as specified by the shipper before loading. Secondly, the number of packages, pieces, or the quantity or weight as furnished in writing by the shipper. And lastly, the apparent order and condition of the goods. In the second part of my presentation, I am going to elaborate on the transactions covered by the bill of lading. In this diagram, I demonstrate how the bill of lading is transported from the seller to the buyer. As in order for the buyer to claim the cargo at its arrival, they need to have the original copy of the bill of lading. The bill of lading performs three crucial functions. Firstly, it serves as evidence of contract of carriage with details of the amount, type, and destination of the shipped freight. Secondly, it serves as a proof of title to goods, which usually requires the carrier to turn over the goods to the receiving party noted on the bill of lading or to anyone in possession of the original copy of the bill of lading. And thirdly, it serves as a receipt that the goods have been properly loaded onto the transporting vessel. The bill of lading is of significant importance for both the seller and the buyer. From the seller's perspective, it is crucial as sole physical performance is insufficient to trigger the buyer's duty to pay the price. They will only be paid if they can tender the documents promised under the contract of sale, which consists of, inter alia, the bill of lading. On the other hand, from the buyer's perspective, the document provides them with evidence of physical performance, possessory rights over the goods, and contractual rights against the carrier and the insurer. In the third part of my presentation, I am going to talk about the variation of letter of credit and bill of lading in contracts of international shipment. Firstly, let's talk about the variations of bill of lading documents. There are many variations of the bill of lading document. However, I'm going to cover the most important ones for international shipping contract concerning the carriage of goods by sea. A negotiable bill of lading gives clear instructions to make a delivery of goods to anyone in possession of the original copy of the bill of lading. Hence, anyone who presents an original copy of the bill of lading will be given title and control of the freight. A straight bill of lading fixes a specific consignee or name of the receiver to whom the freight will be shipped to. Therefore, the assigned receiver can only claim the cargo after confirming its identity. A shipper's order bill of lading is one used when the cargo is purchased on credit and handled through a bank. Variation of bill of lading is negotiable and functions like a title of goods. Further, an ocean bill of lading is a receipt for the cargo and a contract for transportation between a shipper and the ocean carrier. It may also be used as instrument of ownership, which can be bought, sold, or traded while the goods are in transit. This bill of lading must be negotiable. A clean bill of lading is issued by the shipping company or by its agent with an indication that the goods were received in apparent good condition without any damages. And lastly, the Smart Bill of Lading is a digitally transferable document, which we are going to elaborate further upon in part 5 of this presentation. There are two important variations of letter of credit, which are the confirmed letter of credit and the irrevocable letter of credit. A confirmed letter of credit is one which the seller or the exporter has payment guarantee from a second or confirming bank, meaning that in the case the first bank fails to pay them, the payment will be done by the second bank. On the other hand, a irrevocable letter of credit is one which cannot be revoked without joint agreement of both the buyer and the seller. In part 4 of my presentation, we are going to see how risks present in international shipping are dealt with by the international shipping contracts. We may argue that here Incoterms play a crucial role. These are predefined terms adopted by the International Chamber of Commerce, setting essential conditions relating to the risks involved in international commercial transactions, allocating which party bears certain burdens and risks associated with carriage of goods. There are many sets of delivery terms defined as Incoterms, such as the CIF and the FOB, which apply to sales agreements involving carriage of goods by sea. CIF Incoterm, standing for Cost, Insurance, and Freight, requires the seller to undertake to secure the shipping space, ship the goods, and make all shipping arrangements such as contracting as principal and secure insurance.
The seller is required to transfer the bill of lading together with other documents relating to the contract, with them the constructive possession of the goods to the buyer while they are at sea. This gives the right to the buyer to retrieve them from the vessel upon arrival. FOB Incoterms, on the other hand, stand for free on board, entailing that the seller agrees to the delivery of goods to a ship designated by the buyer, and after the latter delivery, the risks passes to the purchaser. It is the buyer's responsibility to ensure and ship the goods to the final destination. In the last part of my presentation, we are going to discuss the legal and functional issues surrounding the use of blockchain with regards to bills of lading. Although a smart bill of lading prevents delays, business damages, or loss, demurrage, and other additional costs, as well as ensures safety and reliability for users, and reduces issuing and processing costs up to 85%, the Smart Bill of Lading still has some legal issues that must be tackled in order for it to replace the role of a paper bill of lading. Those issues constitute of determination of authenticity and validity of electronic signatures. Although digital signature can accomplish greater legitimacy due to the uniqueness of the calculation technique utilized, the struggle is the lawful legitimacy of such signatures. This brings us to an end of my presentation about the international shipping contract and the bill of lading, in which we evaluated various documents which play an important role in the creation of an international shipping contract, transactions covered by the bill of lading, variations in the contract of international shipment, assorted risk of international shipment and how it's dealt with by the international shipping contract, and finally, the controversy of using a smart bill of lading. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed and have a great day.